What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got to be talking about Ter Stegen. He had a long-term injuries out for the season. And how are we going to cope with this? Who's going to be our long-term goalkeeper? Guys, we're going to talk about this. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Roll it to 400 subs, and let's get into the video. So the first thing I want to say is that Ter Stegen, he's out for 8 months. I feel like this is a huge deal. As Barcelona fans, he is our shot stopper. And not only that, he's been here for 10 years. He's our captain. And guys, the first thing I want to say is that Ter Stegen, he is kind of dipping. He's getting more injuries. Not only that, I feel like his shot stopping is being underwhelming. Not only that, his passing is kind of decreasing, the accuracy. And I feel like Ter Stegen, we should really move on from him. First of all, speedy recovery. But I really feel like ultimately as a club, if we want to be at the top, we need to move on from Ter Stegen. And guys, today we're going to be talking about the long-term goalkeepers, not these free agents, but guys who I really think could, mark an era at Barcelona. And the first thing I want to say is that Hansi Flick, this guy is not going to make an excuse. He won a treble recently. He won the UCL recently. Not only that, look at his start at Barcelona, 6 wins out of 6 in La Liga. And look, how many injuries does Barcelona have? Hansi Flick, he still maintains, he's prevailing, and guys, he's getting these victories. And the next thing I want to say is that Inaki Pena is not the answer, because guys, he had his chance last year and he ruined it. Let's be honest. Inaki Pena playing for 1 to 2 games right now while we're sorting this out. But the thing is, Inaki Pena wasn't good enough, and hopefully Ter Stegen, he gets good, because let's see what happens to him. And Inaki Pena, I just feel like he's not good enough, to be honest. And the first name I want to say is Alvaro Valles, because in Las Palmas, they want to sell him, and ultimately, he is such a good goalkeeper. Bayern Munich, we're looking at him. Real Betis, we're looking at him. I think Marseille, too. And Alvaro Valles, he's a sweeper keeper. Not only that, he's a great shot stopper. Not only that, he's good with crosses. And then also, he's 6'4". So I feel like, a 6'4" goalkeeper who's like on the move, and he would only cost 10 million. I feel like, hey, we really got to look for this, because ultimately, he is a sweeper keeper, and that's going to fit in Hansi Flick's system. His ball playing's okay, not as good as Ter Stegen. But guys, let's be honest. I feel like ultimately shot stopping wins you these cups. And I feel like Alvaro Valles would be an absolute sensation at Barcelona. And he's cheap also. And the next thing I want to say, this is more expensive. Emi Martinez. I know it's an obvious name. Many Barca fans, many Messi fans, people who like Messi, they love Emi Martinez. And it's because of his heroics, these penalty heroics at the World Cup. Not only that, but clutch saves when you need him most. Emi Martinez stands up. He stands on his head. He makes the save, and then he might emote. He might dance a bit. But Emi Martinez, he is a colossal goalkeeper, and I feel like this guy, he would probably cost 30 million. As for, Valles, I feel like Valles would probably cost 10 million. Emi Martinez probably 30 to 35, because Aston Villa, why would they let him go? There's no reason to, and they're in the UCL. And I feel like, Hansi Flick, that this guy, regardless of who we get, or if we don't get anybody and we just get a free agent, I feel like Hansi Flick, this guy is going to ultimately prevail regardless. But I feel like if we really, the margins in football are so small. What makes a difference between, a win and a loss or a tie is, these goalkeepers. And I feel like Hansi Flick, ultimately he can coach up all day, but we need a goalkeeper. And Unai Simon, I feel like he would be the luxury option. He would be my last choice out of the 3. But I feel like Unai Simon is severely underrated. People have in their mind that Unai Simon is not a good goalkeeper. But in the Euros, I remember against Germany, Unai Simon was world class. And I feel like that was the game that won Spain the Euros, because Unai Simon, he's a good goalkeeper when it comes to penalties. Not only that, his shot stopping is still good. And I feel like if we get him, he's literally like a carbon copy of Ter Stegen, like when he was younger. And I feel like that's a good option for a couple years also. But the thing is that Athletic Bilbao, how hard, it is to negotiate with them. And not only that, he has a release clause, I think it's 45 to 50 million. I feel like that's too expensive, and I don't think that this is going to happen. But if we do have the money with the Nike deal and, a cash injection, I feel like Unai Simon, it's not a horrible deal. He's in my top 3 for the shortlist. And guys, I feel like ultimately we need a goalkeeper to win the Champions League, because the Champions League is when you need your goalkeeper for that one game. Look at Thibaut Courtois against Man City. Not only that, against PSG, against Leipzig last year. Even Dortmund in the final. And why is Thibaut Courtois doing so good in these clutch games? He's bailing out Real Madrid because he's a top goalkeeper. And Barcelona, ultimately, they need that. Let's be honest, guys. And the next thing I want to say is, just get one of these guys. Alvaro Valles is, I feel like that's a no-brainer. Get Alvaro Valles, but if you can't, you need a goalkeeper to win these UCL, these knockout clashes. And, guys, but if not, get Emi Martinez in the summer or Unai Simon. It's not that big of a deal. But Alvaro Valles, Las Palmas want to sell him. And, hey, 10 million is nothing. Let's be honest. And, guys, if it leads us to a treble, if it leads us to more trophies, it is worth it. We need to, sometimes take a risk financially. This is not, I feel like this is huge. This is crucial. A goalkeeper is must needed. We're Barcelona. We've had top goalkeepers. We've had Victor Valdes. We had Ter Stegen when he was in his prime. Not only that, but look at these goalkeepers, These guys win us games. Victor Valdes in 2006, he was the reason why Barcelona won the Champions League. And Hansi Flick, he knows this. He had Manuel Neuer, guys. And, the next thing I want to say is that, guys, Inaki Pena, we'll keep him for the next 1 to 2 games against Getafe and probably Osasuna. But come October 1st, I need to see a goalkeeper that's not Inaki Pena. I'm not being negative, but I feel like ultimately if we want to be and go where we want to go, Hansi Flick needs a better goalkeeper than Pena because Ter Stegen's injury is crucial. But hey, guys, that's it for me. Just a quick video. Like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe if you haven't. Road to 400 subs, and see you on the next one. Peace.